Hi and good morning, everyone. We'll see how many people join us today. It is course week 4 in cloud native applications, and today we're all three here. Today we'll introduce this week's topic, CI/CD pipelines, and we talk a little bit about what's coming in the course. It's been a lot of questions about assignment 1. We also Diego will also introduce his thinking there. I still think that we maybe very few of you are active in the course. We discussed it with us, like what's the reason for that. Maybe you're busy with the other course, right, that you have at the same time. Hopefully this will you will catch up. Those of you that still have API assignment from web platform, now is really the time to submit it. The deadline is on Monday, but like the earlier you do it, the better, because now it starts to overlap with the new deadline for assignment 1. So do it. And I'm here today on campus if you want help, and then I'm not. So if you have one last minute questions is on the API, it is today as well. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna try to share the screen now. Infrastructure overview. So this is where we are now. Here is where this video will be, and we have some presentation material here that Diego will go through. Then what about assignment 1, Diego? Then when can we start working on it? There's a lot of questions about that.
They can after today. They should on Monday. So ideally, I expect that today, tomorrow, and Friday is spent on what do we do this afternoon in the seminar. So they practice with the pipeline, and then they focus on the assignment during the assignment week. So that is next week from Monday to Friday. But I will release it today, right after our seminar. So at least during the seminar there is no assignment yet. So the only thing to participate is in the continuous CI/CD. And yeah, by the end of the seminar, I will release it and I will explain it.
So continuous integration, delivery, deployment, and this is something that maybe not directly will be part of assignment 1, but you will use it later over here, and it's already kind of expected that you know all this theory and that you have tried it. So if something doesn't work with the practical exercises that Diego introduced you to, please do ask questions. Please attend the seminar, because again, it's good that you get into this now directly. So then the thought is that today, during the day, you focus on that. In the afternoon workshop, right, with Diego, and then even during the week, like if you haven't completed the exercises, and Diego will have another session for questions and answers on CI/CD on Friday, right?
Yeah. On Friday and Monday. So usually I offer the Monday's afternoon, but last week somebody asked on Friday and I could find a slot, so I'm booking that slot also this week to answer questions of both. So on the assignment and on the CI/CD. Ideally on Friday for the CI/CD, Monday about the assignment. But if somebody is very worried about the assignment already on Friday, I can answer questions about the assignment, but about the assignment specification. So if somebody does not understand what should be done, that's good, but not showing code and asking me what is the error yet. This is only for next week.
And I guess if you want to get a head start and try to work on assignment 1, we did talk about it. Like basically, that would be still a lot focus on Terraform and Ansible. So those exercises that you did last week, those optional exercises that are there, just try to make sure you understand to create those type of infrastructure. Then let's see here, stop screen, another screen. Let's see how this goes. People also ask about deadlines. And I have, to avoid confusion, I have removed them from the website. And please refer to always to time edit. You have the link to time edit on the website. So the first thing that you then need to put in your calendars, if you haven't done that already, is the 4th of October, and it's 17. Yes, if you missed the deadline, then you missed the deadline, and you go for the next one. So this is how it is. So plan your time accordingly for doing assignment number 1, and again, don't forget the 30th on Monday, also 17. All right. Am I forgetting something? Maybe Mats, do you wanna say something about what you are preparing and what you're doing?
Well, I'm preparing for a second part of the course there, microservices and container management, and that will you will use Terraform, but okay. There are examples with my example code, and there are example pipelines working on them right now. They're not working for now, but hopefully before lunch they will be working. And well, it's about deploying through a pipeline at the end of the 6 samples that you once created 2 years ago, I think. That's quite nice.
Yeah,
examples to follow and work with.
Yeah, so basically, I think Diego also talked about this previously. Like, this is like a DevOps 101 squeezed into what, like 5 weeks. So obviously, no one expects you to be proficient in all of these tools by the end of it, but you should be able to be comfortable enough to read this code, to use the scripts that Mats provides, for instance. And then, yeah, hopefully later on, also not being like scared and confused if you see it in work projects. So it's kind of expected that you know that. All right, Diego, do you wanna start on your presentation?
I have some slides as usual to introduce what we will do this week or this afternoon. Yep. So I share.
You could go presentation. Yeah. Super.
Yep. So week 4 and last week of the this part of the course, at least from the seminars. Next week is still this part, but it's for the assignment. We are going to explore continuous integration and continuous delivery. So we have, as usual, our theory goals and practice goals. So in the theory, you should understand the concept, principles, and benefits of doing continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment, and understand the differences between these 3, continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. And the second theoretical goal, you should also understand the concept of deployment pipeline and how it is related to the continuous integration and continuous delivery. And in the practical part, we will get familiarity with a tool that supports this continuous integration and continuous delivery, that is GitLab, in our case, and we will create our first deployment pipeline. This deployment pipeline will execute every time that we do a change on our repository. So every time we do a push, or we could even make it for a merge request, and it will perform its actions. We will see. Regarding the theory part, we can break it down to different sub goals. So you should know the differences between the continuous integration, delivery, and deployment, and for that you have to study or read what each of them are. And knowing, reading benefits and motivations for doing continuous integration and continuous delivery is also good, because you will be doing it, so it's better to be motivated. So to think that what you are doing is the right thing to do, and good. And finally, you should know what a deployment pipeline is and its relation to continuous integration and continuous delivery. And for this, we have some links. I have got them from descriptions on the internet, so I paste them here. So for knowing about continuous integration and continuous delivery, the description, motivations, benefits of doing it, and its principles, you have here 5 links. This continuous delivery site, continuousdelivery.com, this is the sections. These are the sections on that page. It's a good source of information and motivation for all description, motivation, benefits, and principles. So go through that site. Is the author is the same as the continuous delivery book, that if you can get it, even better. It's on the library, and well, I will explain later how you can get interesting parts of the book. Yeah, and then I put also some other views of companies, like the Red Hat view on what is continuous integration, continuous delivery, Atlassian view, Amazon Web Services, motivation and viewpoint on continuous integration, and from ThoughtWorks. You don't need to read all of them, study all of them, because you will feel that it's quite repetitive after you have read three of them. But at least the first one, the continuous delivery, and some of the other companies' viewpoints would be good. You can choose your favorite company to read their viewpoint. More resources about the deployment pipeline. Martin Fowler blog site. We already used his blog and his information for in the previous weeks for infrastructure as code. So now we can use it also for the deployment pipeline. And there was another course formerly at LNU that was on continuous delivery. So it was full 2 months. Now we are going to see the principles in 1 week. But if you want to watch the contents of that course, they were on YouTube. They are in Swedish, so I put 2 links there. So, and if possible, if you can get it, the primary source of information, and it's available at the library, is that book, the continuous delivery book. It would be good if you can read chapters 1 and 5. So 1 for the introduction, continuous delivery, and 5, chapter 5, because it explains the pipeline. Especially chapter 5 is also linked in the Martin Fowler pipeline description. So if you are reading this, you will see a link to this InfoMeet as well, or you can go directly to that link, and it's chapter 5 of the book, and it describes the deployment pipeline. On that link, you see that it's a web page, but the chapter has 10 pages. So when you read the first blog, you will see a button like next to go to next page. It's not as short as you may think when you open the web version of the chapter. And in the practical part, we are going to create the deployment pipeline, our first continuous delivery pipeline. So what we will achieve is that after every change in our application, so after every time we push some change, the pipeline executes and performs some operations that we will see which operations. We are quite free to decide which operations should be performed. So we'll take some decisions. And we will, in that pipeline, we will use our knowledge from last week on configuring applications automatically using Ansible. So we will create in the deployment pipeline that we create, at least one of the stages will be to deploy and configure an application staging environment. So we don't dare to go directly to production, but we will see how we can configure it to test in a staging environment. So this will be one of the stages in the pipeline. The other we will use some imagination to put other operations to do in the rest of the stages. So there will be today a workshop, and it would be good if you can read the first paragraphs of these links, because we will use GitLab as continuous integration, continuous CI/CD tool. So reading the first paragraph of these two links, they will put you in a decent position to understand, to be in the same wavelength when the workshop begins. If you read the second, you will see some section about runners and how to create your runners in case that you don't have them. You already have them, so they are provided in the GitLab in our deployment. So you can skip that part because you already have runners. More important, like mandatory, is that you arrive to the seminar at 1 with a project in GitLab. So you can create a new project, and then you put a folder with just one file. For instance, this index.html that was our application data the last week, or if you have another website or something else. So something that works as our application data, as our source. So a single file index.html is good. And then add another second folder on that repository with the files that you created for Ansible last week. So these are the files that install a web server, Apache or Nginx. I did the example with Apache, and they transfer the application data and they change a listening port. You can put the inventory there, the full inventory, and all the variables that are required by Ansible. So this folder group bars with the all.yaml can be created already inside the Ansible, because we will not run the Terraform to create it this time. So that was all. See you today after lunch at 1:15, and most important, come with a repository created with the two folders. Sorry. If then practice today and tomorrow, if by Friday you cannot do the ping module, and we will see what is the first ping module that just checks that our deployment pipeline can connect to the server that needs to configure. So if in 2 days you have not been able to do that, contact me and we will solve the problems on Monday.
Cool. Thank you, Diego. There is one question related to this, like for this practical part. Is it okay to use the repo that's already there for assignment 1? For the CI/CD pipeline, I guess you can.
I'm going to create. What is the repo? Because I am going to publish another repository with code already, with Terraform and Ansible.
Cool. What do you mean you're going to publish it?
I am going to put on when we release the assignment, there will be a link to a repository as well.
Yeah, they already got all the repositories created, so you can't really update it now for them. So they're asking you, say, like arrive with a repository. Should they create another repository in their course, or should they use the one that's they already have for assignment?
For today, not for the assignment.
For today. For today.
Yeah. I would arrive with a new blank project. That would be the best. Otherwise, they can still work in the previous one, but when we have to write path to files, then they have to think where are the files in their own repository, because we will create this the specification for the deployment pipeline. That is a special file for GitLab, and on this file we have to put some paths to files inside the repository. Yeah. If everybody begins from the same point, then they just need to copy the path that I'm writing on for my project. If they have other things in their repository and they put the folder somewhere else, it can still be done, of course, but then they have to mentally translate what is the path that they should put on those files.
Yes, awesome. And another one, this I can answer no. The short answer is no. So the rest of the course is built slightly differently. So you will have 2 more assignments and an oral exam. And it kind of goes more as a flow. You can already start kind of working on the assignment 2 if you're like super confident. I'm not going to change it significantly. The only thing that is kind of changing in that microservices part is instructions for all the exercises and like learning material is getting updated. So like if you feel like I already know all of this for some reason, you can start doing it now if you want, and you can start planning for your group project. Like go for it. So we have some slightly different views with Diego, and also the differences with the infrastructure part. It is a very small assignment compared to like what you will have to do later. So you should be able, like if you have been to Diego's workshops, if you worked with it, you should be able to do it in a couple of hours, and you're getting a whole week. So like that's slightly different scale. So assignment 1 is like a warm-up, so that's why you're getting just a week. Yeah, so I don't see any more questions. So this was, I think, a good short introduction. Do we have something else, or do we just continue with our day?
Yeah, assignment 1 can be seen as a warm-up. At least the current one that is there from last year is not even a warm-up because it's the code that.
Yeah, because it already. Yeah.
This is to check. Asking for that assignment will be just to check if they are awake. No, not even warm.
Yeah. There was actually also one, speaking of being warm and awake, was one student that contacted me that they missed the activity check on Moodle Mats. Is there like a way to... You're muted. If you want to say something, see.
That's not a question anymore.
All right, so it's too late.
Yeah.
No.
In this case, it wasn't too late because this student was re-registered.
Okay. Cool. But I think everyone else has clicked through, and we are going steady. Awesome. All right. Well, good luck with CI/CD today, and with assignment 1, and we'll keep in touch on Slack. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.